All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkins, and this is your best life defined. Wow, been running a lot of things through my head over the past couple of weeks. Been married, coming up on our anniversary. I keep talking about it. It's really there's a point here when you look back at all the struggles. When I look back at all the struggles that Sandy and I faced, and I think to myself, damn, 40 years later. What's funny, I haven't spent enough time sharing. I jump off on these tangents, and I give my opinions and my suggestions to you, and I'm looking back over the titles of some of my podcasts. I'm thinking to myself, I've never really told you anything about me or what makes me believe that I'm qualified to show up here every day and do what I do. So I might take a little time, let you know who I am, show my belly a little bit, if you will. So it's funny is I'm married to a woman whose life paralleled mine as a child. She had the same burdens as I did. She had alcohol abuse and domestic violence and an unstable childhood. Probably not quite to the extent of mine. We got together, man. I fell hard for her. She's this cute little blonde, and of course she's shy, and I'm a dork too. I have a long frizzy hair, looks like an inverted mop, and we get to know each other. And our life together actually started. Sandy was 16, I was 18. We'd been dating and going hot and heavy for about a year. I had just turned 18, but and she ends up pregnant. I'm like, And I guess maybe I wasn't even smart enough at the time, or didn't have enough knowledge at the time to even understand what that meant, because to that point everything was so cut and dried for me. It was just really a simple process of choices, right? I guess I just accepted the fact that, okay, I was going to go to work and I was going to do things like my dad did, like everyone else around me did, right? She's 16 years old, a baby on the way. I'm 18. We get married, 6 people at our wedding. And here we are 40 years later. It's like, damn, where'd the time go? Any more than that, all of the struggles. See, because nothing was conventional with us. We were broke. We were poor. Our first house, $17,000. You can't buy a front door on some of these houses for $17,000 today. An old shack. Sandy cried when I moved her into it because it was an old house. It was all I could afford. And we pulled ourselves through that. And you were like, why are you telling me this? Well, because our whole life, even before we were married, our life has been a struggle. And I think the emphasis of this whole idea of living your best life comes down to the simple fact that you are going to endure struggle. Life, the whole of life is based in struggle. And even those who pretend not to struggle. And that guy standing on the corner panhandling, you think, well, he's not struggling. He's just standing around doing nothing for a living. Well, no, he's not actually doing nothing. He's standing on a corner watching you give him dirty looks for panhandling every day in and day out. And he's battling a lawless community where he can be beat up for standing on somebody else's corner, right? The reason I think I have the credentials to sit here and say, hey, bud, hey, look at you, is because I've been through it all. There's not anything you can probably share with me that I haven't been through. Waking up, wondering where you're going to get the money to buy milk. Just crazy stuff like that. I think what's fortunate is we started so young that before our frontal lobes actually developed, the worst of it was already done. I went to work for the sheriff's department when I was 28 years old. Busted my ass for 2 years, got that degree. I didn't get the degree, but went to school, got enough of a degree to actually get hired by the sheriff's department as a jailer. That's my life changed. And I think for men, your frontal lobe develops at 28, right? If you ever show up here and you think, oh, what's this guy got to say? Life wasn't easy as a child. It wasn't easy growing up in the early years, and I'm just trying to give you something that you can walk away with that's going to help you avoid some of the struggles I've faced. Whether it's your relationship, your finances, your choices, where you are in life, not being able to get to where you want to be in life. Sandy and I were just kids when we met. And now we're sitting at 40 years. And it comes down to waking up every day and knowing that while it's difficult, you can do it. While it's difficult, there is a reason for you to stand up and say, okay, what's next? I think that's the tragedy. And I think there's a lack of endurance in us as a whole. Success doesn't come because people are innately successful. Success comes because people do what it takes to be successful. They don't give up. They don't quit. They don't say, I can't. They say, I'm scared. I'm unsure of myself. Boom, take the first step. That's what me and Sandy and I did. It wasn't easy. It's never easy. Even now, it's not easy. 40 years later, and we're still having heartfelt conversations about how we can communicate better, how we can make sure we're not doing things that make each other feel bad, that inspire each other to be better than we are right now. We were just kids. So when I show up here and I say, hey, this is what you should do, and I come across a little strong, take it with a grain of salt. My intentions are good. My heart is good. Because I have this thing. There's this an addiction to the sound of someone or the words, thank you, you changed my life. There's some satisfaction. And even if it's my own story, if it's just my delusional image in my own head about why I show up every day, my image is clear. Someone out there is going to say, hey, you know what? Or has already said, hey, you know what? I get it. I see what you're saying. Don't go after happy, go after better. And better doesn't always make us happy while we're going after it, but it makes us happy when we get there. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness goes away almost as quickly as it shows up, right? So just take it for what it is. I'm just trying to reintroduce myself to you and let you know, listen, I'm not asking for anything from you. I'm trying to give you everything I can. Sometimes this is really difficult. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes the quality isn't there. Sometimes I just drop the ball on the whole thing. But I promise you one thing, I'm not going to stop showing up because it's good for me, and more than that, it's good for you. So I'm going to just run this one short. Didn't want to jump out there on this harping too much. I hope that you're doing well. I hope your family's doing well. I hope you're kind of learning from this and you're grabbing and getting ready to move forward on some aspect of your life to the point that you can look back and say in a week, month, year, however long it takes, listen, you know, I really did it. I woke up every day. I took action every day, and look where we are because of it. Because that's really the ultimate goal right there. And the best way for you to do that and to find the energy to accomplish your goal is to focus on who you are on the inside, focus on what inspires you, what drives you, and build on that foundation. So I hope you'll keep showing up. Thank you for all that you do. I'm going to continue to do the same. Do not forget about the kindness. It is the foundation of what life is. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.